For me, leadership starts at home. It is not who I am just out in the workplace. It's not who I am in the community. When I go out to the grocery store, it's not how I greet people out there. It's who I am at my core with my family. I have a lovely wife of almost 10 years, and we have 3 kids. We sit here and we try to have good people. We're trying to make good people with our children. And that can be very difficult because we don't know 100% what the perfect parenting style is. We have a bunch of different things being thrown at us. So as a dad, my biggest concern is how my kids treat others, how they worry about the hurt feelings of another person, how they react to someone who's in their community. So I ask myself when I talk about leadership is, what would my kids think? Is this something that would make my children proud? My oldest, almost 7 years old, bless her soul, the biggest thing she's concerned with is not math, it is not reading, it is not recess, and maybe a close second is art. The thing she is most worried about is being a good citizen and helping other people to be a good citizen. Just the other night, we were at soccer practice, and I had a parent look at me and say, you know, Freya's out there trying really hard to be as athletic as she can and keep up, but the thing that she's worried about first and foremost is cheering on everybody else, making sure that everyone else is seen on that soccer field, whether it's practice or the game. What Freya wants most of all is for other people to know that she cares for them and cares about how they are together. So I have to ask you, who are you with your spouse, with your kids, with your family? Are you worried about the rules and who's broke the rules today? Are you worried about the accomplishments that have happened? That is going to be a defining feature of who you are in the workplace, who you are at church, who you are at the grocery store. If you're honking your horn and flipping the bird at everyone that cuts you off, that does define your leadership. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that you can't get mad, feel a little offended. You know, we've all been there for a little bit of road rage, myself 100%. But when you find your values and you attach them to how you treat people, how you truly, truly treat people. It's okay to get mad. Is it okay to yell? Not at my kids. Definitely not my wife. She scares me. She'll yell back. Is it okay to yell at one of your coworkers? Someone random on the street. If we're talking about true, real leadership, it's something we have to do everywhere. It's not just the workplace. It's not a 9-to-5 sort of thing. It is something that we have to live, because if we don't live it all the time, the mask is going to fall and people will know. You know, the psychology says that we all wear masks depending on what situation we're in, whether we're at work, whether we're at church, whether with our family. One of the defining features of leadership that we've seen in the past 20 years is authenticity and the ability to listen. Now, the funny thing about ability to listen, and I'll get back to authenticity, is that the ability to listen is not just listening to others, but listening to ourselves. The number one feature of good coworkers, good leaders for years has been the ability to listen. It's not something we're taught, but something we do need to learn. So if I'm listening to myself and I know that I'm upset, or I'm listening to one of my coworkers and I know they're upset, that can shift my authenticity. That can help me take off the mask. I believe the more that we take off that mask, the better we are. If we can be one person rather than 15 people, I don't think anyone can sustain being 15 people for very long. It's not healthy. It's not good for us. When we're most authentic, and that doesn't mean that we become super best friends with all of those who we lead or who we're in charge of, but being authentic of, hey, right now I'm angry. This is probably not a conversation we should have. Or I'm really upset with how we're doing on this project. We should be further along. How do we get back to good? Telling the truth, being honest. Not just smiling because that's our position that we have to be. Not just smiling and saying, oh, that's a good job to one of our kids, even though they didn't do that good. True, authentic leadership means that we're telling the truth not only to others, but to ourselves. And the more that we can be authentic and be the same person throughout our life, the happier we are. Psychology is showing us that authenticity leads to a lot more peace, a lot more kindness, because we're not having to remember who we are at any given time. I struggle to be multiple people. I have. You never want me to be doing your casework. I'm not a good caseworker. I'm not good at taking notes. But out there talking to people, being able to be myself and be real, that's where I find myself, my authenticity. That's why I'm here with you today. Because I will not BS you. I won't lie to you. Because that's not who I am. You're always going to find me in jeans. Find me in a nice pair of slacks. You probably caught me on a really weird day. But this is who I am. This is who I've chosen to be for the rest of my life. I'm not doing anything that's not me anymore. I can't do that. It wasn't sustainable. It wasn't good for me, my family, or my coworkers. So as you think about leadership and who you want to be, think about who you are at home, who you are at the workplace, and how those can be the same person. How you can be authentically you and still be the best you that puts out great work, great product. And that person that people want to be around because you are authentic.